he works 40, 50, 60 hours a week, and he calls it sacrifice. Meanwhile, she's working too, at a job or at home, managing everything, or both. And she's raising the children, managing the household, carrying the mental load, maybe pregnant, maybe in school, maybe risking her life to bring his children into the world. But only his work is called sacrifice. Why is that? This is why I hate being a wife. Maybe risking her life to bring his children into the world. But only his work is called sacrifice. Why is that? This is why I hate being a wife. Let me start with something that needs to be said. Working is not a sacrifice. Working is the bare minimum for able-bodied adults. You work, you earn money, you pay your bills, you support yourself. That's not heroic. That's not sacrifice. That's just being an adult. Everyone works. Men work, women work, single people work, married people work, parents work, childless people work. Working is what you do when you're a functioning adult in society. So, when did we start calling it sacrifice? When did going to a job, something literally billions of people do every single day, become this noble, selfless act that deserves recognition and exemption from all other responsibilities? And, more importantly, why does it only count as sacrifice when men do it? Here's what a lot of men call sacrifice: going to work every day for years, decades, doing a job they might not love, dealing with stress and pressure and difficult bosses, coming home tired, providing financially for the family, being the breadwinner. And yes, that's real work. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm not saying jobs aren't stressful or exhausting or sometimes soul-crushing. But let's be very clear about what this actually is. It's a job. It's employment. It's earning money to pay for your own life and your family's life. It's not sacrifice. It's responsibility. It's not selfless. It's necessary, because bills need to be paid and children need to be fed and housed. It's not something you're doing for your wife and children. It's something you're doing because you're an adult with adult responsibilities. But somewhere along the way, men convinced everyone, including themselves, that going to work is this incredible sacrifice they're making for their families, that they're heroes for having jobs, that they're martyrs for working, and that because they work, they've fulfilled their obligation. They've done enough. They don't need to contribute in any other way. Going to work is their sacrifice, and everything else is her job. Meanwhile, here's what she's doing. If she's a stay-at-home mom, she's working 24/7. No breaks, no weekends, no paid time off, no clocking out. She's managing the household, the cooking, cleaning, laundry, organizing, scheduling, planning, all of it. She's raising the children, feeding them, bathing them, teaching them, playing with them, comforting them, managing their emotions, keeping them alive. She's carrying the mental load, remembering everything, planning everything, anticipating everything, managing everyone's schedules and needs and appointments. She's doing unpaid labor that would cost tens of thousands of dollars a year if you had to hire someone to do it. Child care alone would be $15,000 to $30,000 per year per child. Add in housekeeping, meal planning and cooking, household management, scheduling, errands. She's doing the work of multiple full-time jobs for free, around the clock. But that's not called sacrifice. That's just called being a mom. Or maybe she has a job. She works outside the home. She earns money. And then she comes home and does everything I just described. The child care, the housework, the mental load, all of it. She's working 2 full-time jobs, one that pays, one that doesn't. But that's not called sacrifice either. That's just called being a working mom. Or maybe she's pregnant. She's growing a human being inside her body. Her body is changing. She's nauseous, exhausted, in pain. She's risking her life because pregnancy and childbirth can kill you. She's doing this while also working at a job or at home or both, while also raising other children if she has them, while also managing everything. But that's not called sacrifice. That's just called pregnancy. It's expected. Or maybe she's in school. She's trying to get a degree or a certification or improve her career prospects while also working, while also raising children, while also managing the household. But that's not called sacrifice. That's just called bettering yourself. So, let me get this straight. He goes to work. That's sacrifice. She does unpaid labor 24/7, or works a job and does unpaid labor, or risks her life in pregnancy, or juggles school and work and children and everything else. and that's just expected. Let's talk about something that doesn't get talked about enough. Pregnancy and childbirth can kill you. Women die in childbirth. Women die from pregnancy complications. Women's bodies are permanently changed, sometimes damaged by pregnancy and birth. In the United States, the maternal mortality rate is higher than in any other developed country, and it's even higher for Black women. Every time a woman gets pregnant, she's taken a risk, a real, potentially fatal risk. She's putting her body through something that could kill her, that could permanently harm her, that will definitely change her forever. And she's doing this to bring his children into the world, children he wanted, children he helped create. She's literally risking her life. And that's not called sacrifice. But his job is? Let me say that again, because I want to make sure we're clear on this. A woman risks death to bear children, and that's not called sacrifice. A man goes to work, and that is called sacrifice. Do you see how insulting that is? Do you see how backwards that is? A woman puts her life on the line, and it's just expected. It's just what women do. A man shows up to a job, and he's a hero. He's making a sacrifice. So, why is it that only his work is called sacrifice? Why is going to a job something everyone has to do? Treated as this noble, selfless act when he does it, while she does multiple jobs simultaneously, risks her life, manages everything, and none of that counts? Here's why. Because his work is valued and hers isn't. His work is paid, it has a salary, it has a title, it has recognition, it's quantifiable, it's visible. Her work is unpaid, it's invisible, it happens at home where no one sees it. It can't be measured in dollars or promotions or performance reviews, so it doesn't count. Even when she also has a paid job, even when she's working and doing all the unpaid labor, her paid work somehow doesn't count the same way his does, because she's still expected to do everything else, and he's not. His one contribution, working, is seen as enough, as sacrifice. Her multiple contributions, working, childcare, housework, mental load, pregnancy, school, are seen as just what women do. Not sacrifice, just expectation. And that reveals something really important about how our society values men's contributions versus women's contributions. If a man does it and gets paid for it, it's valuable, it's sacrifice, it's heroic. If a woman does it, whether she gets paid or not, it's just expected. It's invisible, it doesn't count. Here's what really gets me. The audacity of men to call their one contribution sacrifice while completely ignoring their wife's multiple contributions. He works, that's sacrifice. She works at home 24/7 as a stay-at-home mom, not sacrifice. She works a job and does all the childcare and housework, not sacrifice. She risks her life in pregnancy and childbirth, not sacrifice. She juggles work and school and children and household management, not sacrifice. She does the mental and emotional labor of keeping everyone happy and everything running smoothly, not sacrifice. Only his work is sacrifice. And not only does he call it sacrifice, he uses it as an excuse to opt out of everything else. I work all day. I'm tired. I can't help with the kids. I provide for this family. That should be enough. I sacrifice by going to work. What more do you want from me? As if working exempts him from parenting, from homework, from partnership. As if one thing is equivalent to or more important than all of her multiple things. The audacity of that. The entitlement of that. To call yourself a martyr for doing the bare minimum. Having a job. While your wife does everything else and gets no recognition for it. Here's what this reveals. It reveals that we've been taught to value men's contributions over women's contributions. That paid work matters more than unpaid work. That what happens outside the home is more important than what happens inside the home. That breadwinning is noble and childcare is just expected. It reveals that we've normalized the idea that men's basic adult responsibilities, like having a job, are heroic sacrifices, while women's actual sacrifices, like risking death in childbirth, are just part of being a woman. It reveals that men have successfully reframed their one contribution as so valuable, so important, so sacrificial, that it exempts them from all other contributions, while women's multiple contributions are treated as so basic, so expected, so invisible, that they don't even count as work. And it also reveals something even more disturbing. We've been taught that women exist to serve, to sacrifice, to give, to manage, to nurture, to care for everyone else. And that our sacrifice doesn't count because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to breed, fill the earth, be at men's beck and call. Our bodies exist to produce children. Our time exists to manage households. Our energy exists to serve families. And none of that is sacrifice because it's our purpose. It's what we were made for. But men are supposed to work. And when they do that one thing, they are heroes. They're making a sacrifice. they're providing, they're protecting, and everything else, everything their wife is doing, that's just her job. Let's do a direct comparison, just so we're clear. Him works 40 to 60 hours per week at a job, gets paid, gets breaks, lunch hours, weekends, vacation days, comes home and checks out because he's tired from work. Calls this sacrifice. Her, stay-at-home mom, works 24/7 with no breaks, no weekends, no vacation days, does not get paid, manages household, raises kids, carries mental load, never gets to check out because if she does, everything falls apart. This is not called sacrifice. It's called being a mom. Her, option 1, works 24/7 as a stay-at-home mom with no breaks, no weekends, no vacation days, does not get paid, manages household, raises children, carries mental load, never gets to check out because if she does, everything falls apart. This is not called sacrifice. It's called being a mom. Her, option 2, working mom. Working 40 plus hours per week at a job, gets paid, usually less than him, comes home and works another full-time shift, doing childcare, housework, mental load, never gets to check out. This is not called sacrifice. It's called being a working mom. Her, option 3, pregnant, does everything in option 1 or 2, plus is growing a human being, plus is risking her life, plus has a body that's been permanently changed. This is not called sacrifice. It's called pregnancy. Her, option 4, in school, does everything in option 1 or 2, plus is attending classes and studying, plus is trying to improve her career prospects, plus is managing school schedules on top of everything else. This is not called sacrifice. It's called bettering yourself. So, he does one thing and it's sacrifice. She does multiple things, including literally risking death. And it's just expected. Make it make sense. Here's the truth about sacrifice. Sacrifice is giving up something important for someone else's benefit. Going to work is not giving up something. It's fulfilling your basic adult responsibility to support yourself and your dependents. You're not doing it for your family as some selfless gift. You're doing it because you are an adult and adults work. You benefit from it too. You get money, you get status, you get structure and purpose and social interaction and probably health insurance. That's not sacrifice. That's just life. But you know what is sacrifice? Giving up your body for 9 months and permanently to grow and birth children. Giving up sleep for years, literal years, to care for infants and young children, giving up your career advancement because you're the one who has to leave work when the kids are sick, or can't travel for work, or has to go part-time because someone needs to be home. Giving up your identity, your autonomy, your time, your energy, your health, your body, all for your children and family. That's sacrifice. But only his work gets called that. Why? Because we've been conditioned to believe that men's contributions are valuable and women's contributions are expected. That what he does is a gift and what she does is her duty. And that's not just wrong. It's insulting. Here's what needs to change. We need to stop calling men's basic adult responsibilities sacrifice. Going to work is not sacrifice. It's what adults do. Providing financially is not above and beyond. It's the bare minimum. And it doesn't exempt you from all other contributions to your family and household. We need to start recognizing women's actual sacrifices. Pregnancy and childbirth are sacrifice. Literal life-risking sacrifice. Unpaid labor 24/7 is sacrifice. It's giving your entire life to caring for others. Working a job and doing all the unpaid labor is sacrifice. It's doing 2 full-time jobs when you should only have one to do. It's doing 2 full-time jobs when you should only have to do one. Managing everything while pregnant or in school or dealing with health issues or juggling multiple responsibilities, that's sacrifice. We need to value unpaid labor the same way we value paid labor. Child care is work. Housework is work. Mental load is work. Emotional labor is work. And it's valuable work. Essential work. Work that makes everything else possible. If you had to pay someone to do it, it would cost tens of thousands of dollars a year. So, why doesn't it count when a wife and mother does it? We need to recognize that partnership means both people contribute in multiple ways. Not one person doing one thing, working, and calling it sacrifice, while the other person does everything else and gets no recognition. But both people working at jobs or at home or both, and both people parenting and both people managing the household, and neither person calling their basic adult responsibilities sacrifice while ignoring their partner's actual sacrifices. Because here's what's really happening. Women are expected to sacrifice. It's just what we do. We sacrifice our bodies in pregnancy and childbirth, expected. We sacrifice our sleep, our time, our careers, our autonomy, expected. We sacrifice our identities, our hobbies, our friendships, our peace, expected. We do all of this while also working, at home, at jobs, at school, at everything expected. And we're not supposed to complain. We're not supposed to ask for recognition. We're not supposed to call it sacrifice because we're women. And women exist to serve, to nurture, to care for everyone else. We exist to breed and fill the earth and be at men's beck and call. That's our purpose. So when we fulfill it, we're not sacrificing. We're just being women. But men exist to work, to provide, to lead. And when they do that one thing, when they go to their jobs and earn money, they are sacrificing. They are heroes. They are providers. They are doing something above and beyond. Even though it's literally the bare minimum of adult responsibility. Even though billions of women also work jobs while doing everything else. Even though his wife is sacrificing in ways he'll never have to. Only his work counts as sacrifice. And that tells you everything you need to know about how society values men versus women. This is why I hate being a wife. And they ask why women are leaving. It's not rocket science. Because men have convinced everyone, including themselves, that going to work is this noble sacrifice that exempts them from everything else. While women risk their lives, work multiple jobs, manage everything, sacrifice everything, and get no recognition for any of it. Because only his work is called sacrifice. Her work, paid or unpaid, is just expected. Her risk, literal death in childbirth, is just part of being a woman. Her exhaustion from doing everything while he does one thing doesn't matter. Only his contribution counts. Only his sacrifice is real. And that's not just wrong. It's insulting. Working is not sacrifice. It's the bare minimum. Risking your life to bear children? That's sacrifice. Doing unpaid labor 24/7? That's sacrifice. Working a job and doing everything else? That's sacrifice. But only his work gets that label. And until we start recognizing women's actual sacrifices the same way we recognize men's basic adult responsibilities, this imbalance will continue. Women will keep sacrificing everything and getting nothing. And men will keep doing the bare minimum and calling it heroic. That needs to change. Until next time, take care.